Recall that moment when you accidentally opened an Instagram reel and started watching it thinking you're going to stop immediately. Guess what? You probably spent 30 minutes just scrolling and laughing. And when you did realize that the time is already past, more than 45 minutes actually, you realize that you have that 3-page assignment due the next day. And what were you doing until then? Just probably watching that same reel again and again. But you didn't know what got into you that forced you to just keep scrolling. And if you've experienced this, don't worry, you're not alone. Good afternoon, honorable dignitaries, respected judges, and my dear audience. Today, I will be speaking on the topic, the new age of addiction, short videos, digital dopamine, and the collapse of deep thinking. Ever since the internet and social media have become ubiquitous resources, unprecedented and nascent issues have risen in our society, one of which is digital dopamine, very prevalent among tweens, teenagers, and even young adults. Digital dopamine is the good feeling that one gets out of viewing images or videos on social media. And even though this provides a temporary comfort, it actually robs people of their time and potential which they could use into the areas of their expertise or interest, such as art, music, sports, academics, anything. Another very perilous issue here is the law of diminishing returns, which is a law applied to circumstances in economics. However, it also is applicable into addictions. This law states that the more of an input is added into a fixed system, the returns that one gets, it starts diminishing. It becomes less and less and less over time. We can take this into perspective with a real-life example. We probably spend 1 hour a day watching reels, and that gives us a certain amount of pleasure. However, when we keep repeating this activity, it starts decreasing the pleasure levels. So what do? We increase the time that we spend on watching reels, which causes so much deprivation to our brains. On to deep thinking. What is deep thinking? Deep thinking is the process of critically and creatively thinking about any particular topic, analyzing it so very well that you understand why or how it happens. However, because of people getting so glued to watching short videos these days, what do we see? People rarely care about what's happening. They don't care to ask why, like how our ancestors did, and how the great scientists thought why, and then discovered inkjet printers, or even the X-ray, or penicillin, anything it could be. People barely think of why, except when the electricity supply gets cut. And guess what? Scrolling isn't just some harmless activity. It's the only physical activity that people end up doing, and people tend to scroll about 300 feet per day. 300 feet, which is just 7 feet shorter than the Statue of Liberty in the United States of America. About 2 to 3% of the world suffers from digital addiction. That's around 200 million people. And this is a very alarming rate. People who are addicted to social media tend to be very apathetic, and especially among children, this is very alarming to their parents and breaks their heart. You might be hearing these dangerous statistics and thinking, oh no, this is not supposed to continue. How can we stop this? Don't worry, there's hope. We can tend to do different activities that involve our brain and our mind, increasing their prowess, such as baking a cake, or washing a car, or anything of that sort, going out for a stroll, or maybe getting involved in sports, which increases hand-eye coordination. We can do anything just in our surroundings in order to get rid of this problem. To conclude, I would like to bring up this very powerful quote, which is very relevant in today's situation. Addiction is the only prison where the lock is on the inside. Only you have the key to unlock it. I repeat, addiction is the only prison where the lock is on the inside. Only you have the key to unlock it. Thank you.
Judges, please note, next core letter E, next and last core letter. Public speaking is the art of tuning thoughts into impact. Every voice on this stage carries a